A man wakes up every day in terror, haunted by one reality: humanity left him behind on Mars 108 days ago. The red planet is silent, lifeless, and empty, except for him. His survival has been nothing short of a miracle, but time is running out. One day, while scavenging for anything that could help him, he stumbles upon something buried deep beneath a raging dust storm. The Pathfinder probe, a spacecraft sent to Mars back in 1997. Long forgotten, it had been left buried under layers of Martian sand. Digging with desperation, he frees the ancient probe from its dusty grave. Back on Earth, the mission control team detects unusual signals from Mars. At first, they think it's an error. No one could have survived this long. But as they rotate Pathfinder's ancient camera toward the source, they see him, alive, breathing, standing there in the endless Martian desert. Mars and Earth are 64 million kilometers apart, so any signal takes over 30 minutes to travel. Knowing this, the man grabs a board, drives it into the ground, and writes a message hoping the team on Earth will read it. When the scientists finally see the words, they are stunned. He's alive after more than 100 days alone. Communication begins. Messages bounce back and forth, each taking an eternity. The entire control room, and soon the world, watches this strange, fragile connection between two worlds. Then comes the crushing news: it will take 4 years before a rescue mission can physically reach him. The team decides to send supplies via a cargo rocket. It will take 1 year to arrive, but there's hope. Thankfully, the man has already learned how to grow crops in Martian soil, providing just enough food to survive, for now. Then disaster strikes. A sudden cabin pressure spike causes a massive explosion. Supplies are destroyed. The situation becomes critical. They must send emergency supplies immediately. A rocket is hastily prepared, but just after launch it explodes in Earth's atmosphere. The truth is clear: if they start over and build a new rocket from scratch, the man will be dead long before it arrives. In desperation, the project manager secretly contacts astronauts on a spacecraft returning from Mars. When the crew hears that a man is still alive, and abandoned, they are furious. Against direct orders, their captain decides they will go back to rescue him, even if it risks everyone's lives. But there's a problem. The spacecraft doesn't have enough fuel to enter Mars's orbit. The only way is for the man to launch himself into space to meet them. That means building his own ascent vehicle, and shedding 5,000 kilograms of weight to make it possible. Piece by piece, he strips the craft, removing doors, windows, panels, until it looks like a skeleton of a ship. He climbs into this open-air flying machine, fully aware that flying in Mars's thin atmosphere is nearly impossible. But it's his only chance. After a 200-day journey, the rescue ship finally arrives above Mars. The man, now in his stripped-down ascent vehicle, braces himself against fierce winds and crushing acceleration. His makeshift suit is battered by the air, parts of it are torn away. His body struggles to endure the stress. Moments later, he loses consciousness. The captain calls to him repeatedly, but there's no response. The crew waits in tense silence. Minutes later, miraculously, he regains consciousness. With no other option, he decides to do the unthinkable, puncturing his own suit to use escaping oxygen as thrust. The captain warns him: one mistake and he'll drift away into the black void forever. Then the captain makes his own gamble, detonating a small charge in the ship to release pressurized gas and slow the craft down. The speed drops from deadly to survivable, 12 meters per second, but they're still over 300 meters apart. The captain throws a rescue tether, but it falls short. The man, now determined to live, uses his knife to make another hole in his suit. At first, he spins out of control. Then, like Iron Man, he steadies himself, blasting toward the captain. But his speed is too high, he shoots past and drifts away again. The world watches in horror. Then, at the last second, he manages to grab the rope. Slowly, painfully, he's pulled in. The captain meets him in the middle of the emptiness, both of them fighting to stay steady in the vast blackness of space. Finally, contact. The rescue is complete. Cheers erupt in mission control. After more than a year stranded alone on Mars, the man is finally safe.